Namo Aditapha. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. For our Dharma lessons, we've been reading Abundant, Exalted, Immeasurable by Ajahn Pasanno. And we're continuing in Chapter 4, Introduction to Metta Meditation. It's the nature of the mind that once you have something that works quite nicely and you use it for a while, the mind gets inured to it. It's then helpful to come at it from another angle and use other phrases, keeping it fresh. The bringing up of the phrases is an act of mindfulness. Being attentive and following a sequential pattern requires a certain mindfulness, consistency, and application of mind. That is part of the cultivation. Bringing up and sustaining loving kindness takes patience in using and repeating the phrases and techniques. When loving kindness appears, it is of course important not to grab on it. Don't take hold of this feeling of loving kindness and desperately try to make it stable and steady. That is like taking a tiny little bird in your hand and squashing it. As with any other meditation object, you have to hold it very lightly, and if it stays, fine. It's like shoring or propping it up and allowing it to grow. It's very difficult to force that feeling. As you direct attention to positive thoughts of well-being and well-wishing, it's important not to try to fend off any negative thoughts. If negative thoughts of irritation and aversion come in, establish the mind in non-ill will towards them. There's a whole series of discourses in which the Buddha is sitting in the forest and Mara, the evil one, Buddhism's Lucifer and the embodiment of the forces of darkness, comes and whispers in the Buddha's ear, "You're not really enlightened, it's just a cop-out," or "You really should be taking more responsibility." The Buddha's response is, "I know you, Mara." That's all it takes for Mara to pack up his gear. He's done for. It's the same for our own minds. The forces of Mara come whispering, "This is unbearable." The response is, "I know you, Mara." We don't have to destroy, annihilate, or get rid of the ill will. As soon as it's seen clearly, the forces of Mara have no ammunition or traction. There's nothing they can do. This is a personification of what goes on in our own minds. If things come up in the mind, whether it's something we're really attracted to, want to distract ourselves with, or doubtful about, it's really helpful to say, "I know you, Mara," and then bring constancy to the cultivation of loving kindness or whatever meditation we are doing. Today we're using loving kindness, but this really applies to our whole practice. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Aditapha. Thanks so much for joining me today.